Wow. Yeah. Okay. People are owed reparations. Reparations now. All my Johnsons. Wolfpack. Big K.
Ayo, wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Pause like 10 black, overwhelmed, but I gotta get my wits jacked. We be preaching to the choir like a hymn track, but we gotta make a dent, get the rich back. Laying in the street, we got brothers that overdosing, trying to help the poor with their handicap and emotion. Both parties suck, take a minute and let it soak in. They don't give a fuck, they be locking you up smoking. Both parties suck. Johnson, what they're serving up is a lace concoction. Spit it in a face. Johnson, what the fuck you do with a snake when you boxing? Wanna fall in line with the face is an option. I'ma stand for mine, I'ma ride with my conscience. If you want the right, I'd advise you with caution. When they get the chance, sell you out like an auction. Fucked ins like controlled opposition. Cunts on the boat and they roll their position. Top down, yeah, I'm sold on the mission. I ain't bring a coast, I'm a search of friction. Politicians faking these raps give me conniptions. They be out here serving their donuts like a religion. Calling out these blasphemous promises my addiction. They ain't got no soul, yeah, they sold it out for a pension. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Ayo, Tom, a conservative run on McDonald. Clean, but you look and you sound like you out for the bottle. White boy dress for the follow. You can see through the grip, so you need to let off for the throttle. Try the right, we beside, let us have us a top. Be a man, we can walk through the basics. You ain't getting shot, just talking about race. Motherfucker, you get shot for being racist. Yo, say you spitting facts, you clearly be in your feelings. Quoting Ben Shapiro, what else the fuck you conceal? See, we didn't free the slaves, and you acting like we the same. Like we're signing effects, same thing, you fucking idiot. Right-wing frauds really made me belligerent. Educate America, overcoming the ignorance. Big homie black, show you bitches the difference. They outsource the jobs and blaming it on the immigrants. Bro for initiative, hold the line with the wolf pack. Giving me a shot, I blew through him like I'm a fullback. Riding from inside the center, where your soul at. Can't distract blast, cause homie be full of bull crap. ACAB, yeah, I'm bending the law. Yeah, the system is broke. If you need this and ours, need divine intervention. Need a fix by the gods, hold up, I'ma need to catch my breath. Pause. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck up, round, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause.
All right, let's go. There it is. I think that's it. Okay. What up, everybody? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to another edition of Pause with Tim Black. I'm glad you could all be here. What's happening? How's life? Good, very good. Let me make sure people can see us on YouTube. Real quick. There we go. Okay, we're on YouTube. What's up, y'all? Yo, check this out, guys. This is the episode, right? So let me explain. If you're new to this show, this is the black moment for the internet. Okay? Because what I do on the Pause with Tim Black show, we look at an issue from a black perspective, from a black guy who's unafraid to call shit out, who's not worried about getting fired by white folks, and doesn't have to report to white folks or scared black people. That last part's really important because scary black people are the worst. They spend their whole time like this. Tim Black, don't say that. You're going to mess up my good job. Tim Black, why you trying to get us in trouble, Tim Black? I knew I shouldn't have put you on my show, Tim Black. You gonna get us all fired, Tim Black. I got kids, Tim Black. I had to simulate you guys clapping, because I know right there you'd be like, yeah. All right, so that's what's so great about this show. So if you like this podcast, guys, let me just tell you where to get it. Go to timblackpause.com. Now, we always have a thing for the show. Well, not always. I guess we could have one right now. How about this? They shot this young man 76 times. That's a good thing for the show, because that's what happened. They shot a young man 76 times. And it took 5 years to get an indictment. That's the title. I know it's a weird title, but that's the theme of the show. I guess we'll just keep coming back to that. Now, before we get too far, let me start with this is my favorite saying. This is my monologue, it's sort of my affirmation. That's it. You know, some people wake up in the morning and go, I'm really great. I'm a great person. I love my kids. I love life. Today's going to be a beautiful day. That's not what I wake up saying. I wake up saying, cut the check. Cut the check. That's what I wake up saying. This is not working. What's up with that? So, yeah. There's a young man out of Atlanta, Georgia, right near Atlanta, Georgia. It's a suburb of Atlanta, Georgia, who was having some issues. In fact, he had some mental issues. I think he was schizophrenic. Well, back in August 5th of 2016, he had an episode. Cops are there to serve a couple of warrants, I think it was, actually. So they show up at his crib. They gain entry. They bust in. It's 14 cops. And when it's all said and done, this young man by the name of Jamarion Robinson, he was shot 76 times. Now, the officers that shot him 76 times have been walking around free. Going to stores, going to the beach, hanging out, checking out a movie. Probably never missed an episode, rerun of The Sopranos. Getting their yard work done or mowing their own lawns. You know, regular stuff that people do who haven't shot people 76 times. This was just announced. 2 of the officers who shot Jamarion 76 times have been indicted on a number of charges. Felony murder, aggravated assault, and burglary. Now, there are more charges, But these three really stuck out to me. So basically, they murdered this man, i.e. felony murder. Aggravated assault, which I guess is just a lesser charge, is sort of like insurance on a felony murder charge. But the burglary charge really sticks out to me, because that means that these cops are really scumbags. Like, they must have stole something. After it wasn't enough to shoot him 76 times, they took some shit. They not only took his life, they took some shit. Like, how was there a burglary charge in this? So if you got cops with burglary charges on top of murder charges, you got yourself a very fine police force, don't you? What's amazing is you already know it's going to be a number of my vote blue anywho, not vote blue anywho, I'm sorry. Support the blue. Defend the blue people are going to somehow find a way to support this shit. They're not going to think that 76 shots was too much for a mentally incapacitated human being. But if you shot a dog twice, they lose their fucking minds. Their heads will literally explode. But for a black man, a young black man, they won't even flinch. They'll say shit like, well, we got to see what the evidence says, or let's not rush to judgment. What kind of judgment do you need to make? Obviously, this man was not standing upright. When you shoot somebody, like, okay, Laquan McDonald, young man that was shot, I think he was 17 years old. He was shot in Chicago. They shot him 15, 16 times. I always get the numbers wrong. Anything over like 2 was like, what the hell's going on? They shot this young man a number of the shots. So the first 2 shots put him on the ground, and the rest were just exclamation points by the good officer, who's now serving time. That's 17 shots or 16 shots. They shot this young man. Let's do some quick math. 4 times more times? Right? 5 times more times? Yeah, 5 times more times. 76 shots for one individual. Now, this individual had not just, man, I don't even know what to say. He had not just poured the nuclear switch. Like, to shoot somebody this number of times and somehow make it make sense somewhere in your brain, he would have to be like about to blow up the planet, right? That's what you got to do. Like for you to wrap your head around it. Even I know I was just hard on my conservative people, my vote blue anywho people, my not vote blue. I keep saying vote blue. You know, my defend the blue lives matter motherfuckers. You know, you guys. I know I've been hard on you, but come on, man. The only way that you can justify in your own head that this young man was shot 76 times is he had to be rushing to the nuclear switch, the nuclear codes, or the nuclear switch, and he's about to send a nuclear warhead at America. Right? Like, what in your mind do you have to go through? What kind of gymnastics do you have to be able to practice? A triple axel somersault landing perfectly still, stick the landing, like what? What kind of shit do you got to be on for that to make sense to you? I can't think of anything else. But we all know. I don't know much about this case. The horrible thing about it, I'm just finding out about it. I'm just finding out about this case. So I can't go into too many details. So I'm making some assumptions here. And though I'm making assumptions, I'm sure some of them are correct. First of all, I'm sure he was shot 76 times. Or he was shot 59 times, but he had 76 entrance wounds. So bullets, some of the shots went through certain parts of the body twice. So if you shoot somebody who's trying to block a shot and the bullet goes in the hand, but also in your head, that's 2 shots. But it's the same bullet. So I'm just going to call it 76 because that's 2 entries. That's ow, okay? So So I have to make some assumptions here. The other assumption I have to make is that Jamarion was not about to launch a nuclear warhead at America. Right? So, and even if you think that, even if somehow you think that a black man should be shot 76 times because he may launch a nuclear warhead, you would also think, well, why would it take that many shots? What I'm trying to tell you is that they hated this young man. They hated him a lot. Like, they detested. He was not a human being to them. He was not only not a human being to them, he was not a dog. He was not only not a dog, he was not... Shit. I can't think of anything you'd shoot that many times. Maybe King Kong. And we know King Kong was representing a black man, right? We all know that, right? We're up to speed like where the imagery came from. This brute. This depiction of him holding a little white girl, that was symbolizing black men. Trying to get white women. Just trying to get white women. And so I guess you'd have to have that type of thought in your head to shoot a black kid 76 times. I would also like to make another assumption, and this I feel very safe in assuming. Even more safe than assuming he was not on his way to pull the nuclear codes or launch a warhead at America. I'm going to go ahead and assume that none of my white leftist friends or white progressive friends covered this story at all. I'm going to go ahead and assume they don't give a shit. Because they don't. Because this is where the left goes to hear about black stories. And you can go other places for black stories, but a lot of those black places you could go, even those black places, they got people on them that want to work at white companies. And as long as you got that hanging over your head, you can never speak truth to power. So that's what people got to understand. You have to understand that everyone's afraid to say shit. Everyone's afraid to speak the truth. No one's going to say it this way because they got to work somewhere. And the only place I work is right here. This is it. So you can get mad, but pulling your $5, we can get somebody else for $5. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather you didn't, but you getting upset ain't going to change my opinion, and I'm not going to change what I'm saying. This young man wasn't just executed. And that's not what cops are supposed to do. So execution, horrible thing. You're not supposed to do that. But cops do that all the time. They kill brothers all the time. What I'm saying, what these cops did, it's beyond killing someone. It's beyond murder. There has to be something beyond murder, guys. And whatever that is, that's what this was. 76 times, to shoot anything 76 times is like, I mean, there's psycho, then there's another level of, I don't know. It's so, you can't even imagine it. You can't fathom it. It's that bad. That's how bad this is. I don't even want to guess anymore. I don't want to play around with this because the imagery in my head right now of things I could say, none of them are respectful. And I'm not talking about the officers. I mean to Jamarion Robinson, okay? Because there's a lot of places we could go with this. You know what I'm saying, you know? Because it's so horrible. I can't imagine what this young man could have done. And before anyone starts offering suggestions, before you do, just remember, cops are not jurors. I know they play one on TV, or they play one on a lot of the footage that we see, but they're not supposed to actually be judge, jury, and executioner of citizens who haven't been convicted of crimes. They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to just apprehend you. bring you in so you can get your day in court. That's what cops are supposed to do. When they don't do that, see, other countries, not America, countries that aren't America and aren't like Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying? You go to trial. Okay? I'm not saying they all have great systems, but the job of the cop is not to, if they get pissed off, kill your ass right there. That's not how it's supposed to work. I know you accept that out of your government. You shouldn't. It wouldn't fly many other places in the world, but for some reason we accept it here. Not only do people accept it here, they get upset if you have an opinion like mine, which is basically all cops are bastards, until proven otherwise. I'll slide that in. They tend not to treat us that way. You know what I'm saying? They tend not to treat us that way. Well, you know, but okay, I'm going to slide that in. All cops are bastards until proven otherwise. And that's just how I have to look at it. And that's why 10 and 2. That's why I tell my son 10 and 2. If you don't tell your son 10 and 2, you're putting their life at risk, because these officers, these U.S. Marshals who shot this young man 76 times, this ain't the only case they've ever worked. There were 14 officers there. Did any of those officers step in to stop the officers from shooting 76 times? Did any of them turn state evidence? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that's an easy thing to do. I covered a case a couple weeks ago where an officer who told on his officers who were committing police brutality ends up getting fired. I covered a story a couple months ago of an officer who told on her fellow officers or tried to stop a fellow officer from choking out someone. She got fired too. And they took her pension. Like, this is what happens. So I'm not saying it's easy, but doing the right thing ain't always going to be easy, Johnson. Get what I'm saying? So you don't get to say, well, it's not easy. It's not an easy thing to do. Shit, doing this show ain't easy. I got to walk the streets just like anybody else. I got family and kids too, motherfucker. This ain't easy. It's better to be Don Lemon and pretend to be upset about things and then go about life and be happy and have a whole lot of money. Like, it's easier to do that, okay? It's easier to act real contrite, pretend to be like Tucker Carlson and make faces at the camera and say racist shit and then feel a little bad, but then just have to, go about your life and then, have a big bank account. That's easier. Much harder to speak truth to power when you ain't got security and when you live a regular life, okay? So miss me with the whole, cops got it so bad, it's such a bad situation. I don't want to hear that. I'm sure, slave catchers had a story. I'm sure people at the death camps have stories. Like, okay, fine. I don't got time to feel bad for people who could have made other choices. Back to Jamarion Robinson. This is a horrible story, ladies and gentlemen. It's so horrible, I had to start today's pause off talking about it. My condolences to the families, his family, the family and friends, people that love Jamarion. I'm sorry this took 5 years to get an indictment, but let this be known. This ain't over. An indictment is just one step. It's just one step on the road to some form of justice. So I want to congratulate you on this first step, and we want to ride this out with you. We want to see this go to fruition. So, guys, continue to follow this show. If you give a damn about this, if this matters to you, that a young man, 26 years old, was shot 76 times, I think it was on his birthday, too. What a birthday present. 5 years to get an indictment. I wonder what the holdup could have been. Okay. Now, I was thinking about this the other day, right? Actually, last night, I was talking to Mrs. Black, my wife, and I was discussing, so, I noticed that we spent a lot of time over the last few years, a lot of us online, talking about how horrible politicians are, how dangerous being in politics was. I remember we were talking about Hillary Clinton and the body count. How many people remember that? People were People were talking about Hillary Clinton, the body count back in 2016, right? All this horrible stuff. Oh, God, blah, 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 you know? Hillary's the devil. And I'm not saying she's not a horrible person. I don't think she's a good person. I don't think that. I think she's a powerful person, and people like power. And people got to kiss her ass because she's powerful. But I can't help but notice a lot of those stories and a lot of the narratives that were being spun about, you know, killer Clintons and all this stuff seems pretty stupid at this point. Yeah, it seems pretty stupid. Like, I remember at the time I was covering it and I was finding out all this information, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. But there's no way to prove any of this shit. Like, these are all thoughts. Those people that believe that shit later on went on to become QAnon. Like, if you didn't get off the bus, like, pull the string, oh, it's me. If you didn't get off the bus, right, if you just kept riding that bus, you ended up at QAnonville. That's where you ended up. Around a bunch of other wacky conspiracy people that just walk around talking to themselves, seeing shit that ain't nothing there. Hey, somebody's standing right here. No one's standing there at all. Just you by your damn self. Hey, who put something in my orange juice? It's not even opened yet. But something's in my orange juice. Somebody trying to put some. So these people. And look. I'm not talking about people who legitimately have mental issues. That's another thing. What I'm saying is, if Hillary Clinton was a killer, why did she kill Trump? Yeah, if Hillary Clinton was a killer, why didn't they kill Trump? Or why didn't they do something else? Like, why? How did Trump become president? How'd she lose? How did Trump become president? Like, no, see, people get to say shit, it goes away, and no one says anything else. Like, nothing happened. What I'm saying is, we come up with fantastic stories to explain very simple shit. A lot of our politics is jacked up because people are corrupt. And money spins. And people like money. And we live in a fucked up society where people will lie, cheat, steal, and worry about themselves more than they worry about anybody else. That's really the bottom line. It's not a Clinton cabal and all this other shit. That sounds great. But really what you're doing is you're letting the whole system of corruption off the hook. Yeah, when you start making this overarching boogeyman, you're letting the system off the hook. Now notice, guys, a lot of people are saying this shit now about Trump, right? They're saying, oh, you guys are talking about Trump. You're making a big deal out of Trump. Trump ain't nothing but a symptom. I don't know how many times I heard people say that. They weren't saying that when it was Hillary. No, they weren't saying it when it was Hillary. So now they're smart. Now they're like, oh, it's not Trump. Trump's just a symptom. Why do you want to focus on Trump? You got to focus on all this other shit. I don't think some of our friends, some of my white progressives were saying that when it was Hillary. They were just all in on it just being Hillary. And if we stop Hillary, everything's going to be okay. But now that it's Trump, these motherfuckers are now enlightened. All of a sudden now, it's not Trump, it's the system. How convenient. You know, without putting out racism, institutional racism, they do the same thing. Yeah, it's a lot of them that do the same thing. They even turn a blind eye to it, or they start pointing out individual motherfuckers. Instead of going, yeah, it's the system. They go, nah, it's Karen. Yeah, we just got rid of the Karen, the horrible Karen. That horrible Karen caused all this trouble. They point at one pissed off, hateful ass, bigoted ass, racist ass white woman at a Walmart, a Payless shoe store. I mean, really. You know, in a restaurant being an asshole or on a plane and chalk all of it up to Karen. Like, that's the whole problem with America. It's the Karens. We just got rid of the Karens, we'd be okay. But we all know that's bullshit, right? Because Karen is new. Well, this current's new. But racism has been going on in America for hundreds of years. So it can't be current, right? Because before we had phones catching currents, there were racists everywhere in America. Like, it was built on this shit. So they do the same switcheroo. Like, they understand that it's, when you start blaming Trump, they go, it's not just Trump, it's the system. But when I say institutional racism, they go, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop bringing systems. The system's okay. It's not the system. It's, they start making fucking excuses. All I'm saying is be a little consistent. You know? Hey, look, man, a lot of us were losing our minds. We say things because we want to feel better, right? We did the same thing with Bernie Sanders. I was a Bernie Sanders supporter. I still like some of his policies. I still like a lot of his policies. But the fact he doesn't really have a black agenda, it fucks with me. So I can't support it. We got to have black policies that help black people because black people are on the bottom of this thing called American society, where we get the least, right? Okay, so for instance, women businesses. Let's just take women businesses. $1.7 trillion. Women businesses. Gross, right? Gross revenue. 1.2, not 1.7, 1.2 I think it was. But that's trillion. That's a lot of money. How much are black women getting out of that? How much of that is black women money? 2%. Actually, I'm sorry, less than 2%. So this is why our black agenda is needed, because it's not that they don't go to school, bitch. Black women go to school more often at higher rates than white women because we're all trying to do better. Yeah, if you listen to dummies on Facebook or in comment sections on YouTube videos, you would think black people are just sitting around waiting for reparations. No, I advocate for it, but meanwhile, black people are going to school. Particularly black women are going to school and incurring all types of debt. And at the end of the day, the problem is they're not getting the bank loans. They're not getting the SBA approvals. They're not getting the same interest rates. They don't have the same support. They also, if they do get those loans, they can't afford to fail because they don't have generational wealth where they could go to grandma and say, hey, grandma, you got 20 grand? They don't have that shit because their parents don't have the homes that white people have where money's usually kept. And in the 50s and 60s and 70s, redlining was so pervasive. It still exists, but it was so pervasive, it was so hard to get an FHA loan if you were black. But see, people don't want to know all that. They don't care. They'd rather just make a post on Facebook, not reading anything, and say black people don't give a fuck, black people are lazy, and black people don't work hard, and they want a handout. Meanwhile, the people that got the handout were the minorities, which were women. And most of those women were white, and they got the handout. And it benefited them to the tune of $1.2 trillion in revenue as women-owned businesses, of which less than 2% are black. But meanwhile, I got to hear their husbands complain on Facebook about how black people want a handout, when the people that got the real handout are sitting across you at dinner. Yeah. Anyway, back to my point. So anyway, back to Bernie Sanders. I'm not saying about the whole, people come up with fantastical stories because they don't want to accept the truth. I did the same thing for a minute. Remember back in 2016 with Bernie Sanders, just before he threw the towel in and disappointed us all? I was pissed, man. I wanted him to take it to convention and burn the shit out of Hillary on the floor of the convention. Withhold your support. Take it all away. Because I felt Hillary was bad for the country. And I also didn't think that Hillary, I didn't think that Hillary could beat Trump. I was right about that, by the way. I was right about that. She underperformed like a motherfucker. Well, anyway, Bernie showed up with like a bandage or a cut on his head. He had like a Band-Aid on his head. And all these fantastical stories started to circulate. What'd they do to Bernie? Yeah, what'd they do to Bernie, man? They must have threatened Bernie. Yeah, people started concocting stories like Bernie gave up the race or threw his support behind Hillary because they had Jane in the closet somewhere and she was being tortured. I mean, that's a little extreme, but it's not far off what people were saying. People were saying similar things. They were like, Bernie, they must have threatened Bernie's life. They're going to do something to his kids. They're going to do something to his wife. Like Bernie's like, where's my wife? I wrote the damn bill. Now give me back my damn wife. And Jane's trapped in the closet with 5 Clinton goons. Bernie, they're going to cut my hair, Bernie. They're going to cut my hair, Bernie, and take away my Beatles records. So we made up this shit in our heads at the end of the day. It was just Bernie just was like, I need to keep my job. I need to keep my job, and I like what I do, and I'm not going to give it up for a bunch of whiny, complaining white leftists or white progressives on Twitter. That's all it was. It wasn't this amazing thing, this diabolical cabal. It was not an elaborate deal. But we needed an elaborate deal to accept the fact we live in a corrupt, fucked up system where cash rules everything around us. We didn't want to accept it. It was very simple. It's too simple. In fact, it's so simple, it's heartbreaking. We'd rather it be a boogeyman. We'd rather it be Donald Trump. Oh, the orange gore. Oh, we'd rather that be it than it just be regular motherfuckers in white shirts and ties and suits offering money on Capitol Hill called lobbyists. And we'd rather it be henchmen, Clinton henchmen, taking people out on a grassy knoll, right? Than it just being politicians wanting to keep their cushy jobs and not wanting to go back to regular life, working 3 jobs, one of them at Walmart, the other at Home Depot, and the other driving Uber. Now they got a taste of the good life. No, we want to thank Bernie. Let's go fight the good fight to the end. And they got Jane tied up somewhere and they're torturing her. They got Bernie on the phone. And Bernie need to throw your support behind Hillary. You never see your wife again. And he's like, okay, let her go. Rather believe that shit than just accept that money spends. And being a leader of a very important committee on the Hill or in the Senate, it's pretty damn good. Not everybody gets that job. You know, and maybe he just wasn't ready to go fishing for the rest of his life. So, like, and yes, and of course, guys, I would much rather it be just Karens in front of Walmart using the N-word. I'd rather it be just a kid here and there saying whack shit, doesn't want the black people to get in the pool. You know? Doesn't want the black people at the movie theater. I'd rather that be it, but we all know that ain't it. We all know it's bigger than that. We all know it's not the little one-offs. It's a whole system of corruption and bigotry, white supremacy, paid off corrupt bastards. We're in a country where an auto dealership could know it got bad brakes. It got bad brakes. The brakes are faulty. Now, you don't know if you got the Honda with the bad brakes, but they knew some people had the Hondas with the bad brakes. And instead of saying, hey, we fucked up, bring all the Hondas back, right? Put them all back. Let's do a recall. Instead, they said, you know what? It's better for us if we kill a few people and got to pay settlements than if the whole world knows we got bad brakes. What, we're going to pay off 20, 30, 50 families? They're so poor, they'll take 50 grand. But if we got to revamp our image because we put out bad brakes, that might cost us $1 billion, and we don't want that shit. See, the reality is always worse than the fantasy. The fantasy sounds like it's worse, but it's not. Nah, the fantasy's better. The reality is we're fucked up because we got individuals on the take. We're so screwed because we got companies that just say, hey, dump the sludge in the lake. Dump the highly toxic, cancer-causing shit that we created in a lab, put it in a lake behind a rural town, behind the town. Yeah, just dump it in the ground and come back 20 years and it's seeped into the waterway. Like, that's really what it was. And they didn't do it because they hated people. They did it because it was more advantageous and it cost less money than having to actually store it or dispose of it in a way that was environmentally friendly. That's really what it was. Yeah, we want to create boogeymen because boogeymen are better, easier for us to wrap our heads around. But that ain't the case, Johnson. I'm not going to allow you to create boogeymen out of this shit. We got to deal with shit for what it is. And that's what this show is about. That's what Tim Black Paws is about. And that's why it's going to fucking win. Regardless of how many of you phony-ass, fake-ass, corny-ass, fake progressives want to shit on it, want to try to stop me, send your bots and your haters into my shows, or track me around Twitter, mislead and falsely accuse, all the bullshit you're doing. At the end of the day, the truth will ring out. All of this because you don't want to cover black issues and you don't like a black man calling you out for it. See, I'm not saying you're bad people. You're cowards. Black issues are American issues. And until the Democratic Party addresses that and are willing to deal with it more than just lip service, you have a problem out of me. And for the record, guys, if something bad happens to me, don't start thinking no crazy-ass plots. Just go to those white progressives or to those cops and put a magnifying glass up their asses because they did it. It's no fucking grand conspiracy. It'll be somebody who hates me, who kills me. That's it. Don't create boogeymen for the shit. And then hunt them the fuck down. Now, until that day happens, what are we going to do? We're going to continue to sound off about reparations, about a black agenda. We're going to continue to demand that they cut the check. Why? Because that's the only thing that's going to solve our problems. We're not going to solve the problems by giving us a $20 bill with Harriet Tubman's face on it. We're not going to solve the problem with a hip-hop day. Though that's cool shit. That's cool. I like Wu-Tang Clan. We'll keep the Wu-Tang Clan and we'll keep Harriet Tubman. But that does not resolve our problem. And fuck you for Juneteenth. How you gonna give somebody a holiday they already had? Yeah, just because you didn't recognize it didn't mean we didn't recognize it. I've had a Juneteenth shirt in my store for 5 years. Oh, now that white people go, we'll allow you to celebrate. Fuck you. We already had that. You can't give us what we already had. Imagine somebody saying, I got a great gift for you, and you look in the box, it's your old toaster that they came and took off the counter, and they're giving it back to you. Come on, Johnson. So anyway, go to timblackpaws.com, subscribe to this podcast, follow this podcast. If you do that, I'll send you 2 bracelets. I got wristbands, right? Cut the check wristbands. Wristbands. We're giving them away. That's really it. That's all I got. You know? I think we got a problem, Johnson. We got people that want to believe the worst shit, the craziest shit, because they don't want to read. I got people that want to believe bad shit or crazy shit because they don't want to accept horrible shit. Who said it? I'm trying to think who it was. There's a phrase about that. I think it's Baldwin. about things that you can't change. How's it go? Nothing. There are things that can't be changed that must be accepted. But only things that are accepted are things that can be changed. Something like that. All right, guys, that's it. We're back Friday for an opening mic night. We got Tim Black Show. We open up phone lines. People call into the show. That's at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you here for that. And until then, remember, if they're not talking about black issues, fuck them. Why are you watching them? And if you like, well, I got to know other stuff, Tim. You don't cover everything. That's fine. Watch who the fuck you want to watch, but watch this show for unmitigated truth about black issues. My condolences to the family, the Robinson family. I hope this is just the beginning of justice for your claim. I'm Tim Black. I'm out. Real Tim Black, Facebook and Twitter. Tim Black and that on Instagram. And until we talk again, cut the check. Cut the check. People are owed reparations. Reparations now. All my Johnsons. Wolfpack. Big K.
Ayo, wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck around, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Pause like Tim Black, overwhelmed, but I gotta get my wits jacked. We be preaching to the quiet like a hymn track, but we gotta make a dent, get the rich back. Laying in the street, we got brothers that overdosing, trying to help the poor with their handicap and emotion. Both parties suck, take a minute and let it soak in. They don't give a fuck, they be locking you up smoking. Both parties suck. Johnson, what they're serving up is a lace concoction. Spit it in a face. Johnson, what the fuck you do with a snake when you boxing? Wanna fall in line with the face is an option. I'ma stand for mine, I'ma ride with my conscience. If you wanna ride, I'd advise you with caution. When they get the chance, sell you out like an auction. Fucked in, like controlled opposition. Cunts on the boat and they roll their position. Top down, yeah, I'm sold on the mission. I ain't bringing coats, I'm searching for friction. Apologists faking these raps give me conniptions. They be out here serving their donuts like a religion. Calling out these blasphemous promises my addiction. They ain't got no soul, yeah, they sold it out for a patient. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck around, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause. Ayo, time. Look conservative, run on McDonald. Clean, but you look and you sound like you out for the bottle. White boy dress for the follow. You see through the grip, so you need to let off for the throttle. Try the right, we beside, let us have us a top. Be a man, we can walk through the basics. You ain't getting shot, just talking about race. Motherfucker, you get shot for being racist. Yo, say you spitting facts, you clearly be in your feelings. Quoting Ben Shapiro, what else the fuck you conceal? See, we didn't free the slaves and you acting like we the same. Like we're signing effects, same thing, you fucking idiot. Right-wing frauds really made me belligerent. Educate America, overcoming the ignorance. Big homie Black, show you bitches the difference. They outsource the jobs and blaming it on the immigrants. Bro for initiative, hold the line with the wolf pack. Giving me a shot, I blew through him like I'm a fullback. Riding from inside the center, where your soul at. Pin strength blast, cause homie be full of bullcrap. ACAB, yeah, I'm bending the law. Yeah, the system is broke. If you need this and ours, need divine intervention. Need a fix by the gods, hold up, I'ma need to catch my breath. Pause. Wait, hold up, pause, no debate, no applause. Tired of the wait, man, we need a revolution, but you came to debate. We be down for the cause. I be laid on a sauce, keep us down for the cause. Fuck around, get a public execution. Better wise up, hold up, fuck it, pause.